The Cubs come all the way back to tie the series, and we head to Wrigley North for Game 5. We are live right now on the Setup Man podcast. Let's go!
Some tech issues?
Some tech issues. Ty is just
we're just so excited.
Oh, we're so excited. I mean, Kyle, wow. First off, to everyone tuning in, I'm Ty Lewin alongside the Podfather himself, Kyle Stanley, and this is the Setup Man podcast. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, comment, and like this video. And if you're listening on audio, please follow us and leave a 5-star review. All of these help to get all of this helps us get the word out to more Cub fans. On the agenda today, what else is there to talk about? We're heading to Game 5 in Milwaukee. A truly remarkable comeback by your Chicago Cubbies. We have so much to discuss, so much to take away from this ball game. But Kyle, just like my technical difficulties and probably not being able to get your words out right now, brother, incredible, simply incredible.
I just have I want to hold my promise. I have so many things to apologize for, Ty.
Oh, wow.
I mean, first of all, apologies for yesterday and just being so unprepared to talk about Game 4 and thinking that Matt Boyd and Freddie Peralta were on short rest. That was just a big snafu by me. But put that aside, and I owe Matthew Boyd an apology because didn't think he would do that. Did not give him any credit. Didn't think that even if you gave him 6 days rest, did not see him putting up that kind of performance. And I was vocal about that. I need to apologize to Craig Counsell because I said that he needed to switch up the lineup. That if you are going to have a quote unquote winning offense, that 3 runs, 4 runs per game is not going to do it. So something is wrong with the offense. And even though they only put up 6 tonight, it felt like it was 15. I need to apologize to the bullpen because I said they are gassed. They are not going to be able to put up zeros. They did. And I need to apologize straight up to the offense because I said that outside of the first inning, they have been unserious, that they have been uncompetitive. And tonight, God dang it, even though they still only scored 3 runs after the first inning, again, it felt like it should have been another 12. The at-bats were so good. The approach was so good. And you can just account the fact that they didn't score another 9 runs, just bad luck. I mean, Ian Happ should have 4 home runs tonight. that was just fun. And if you are in the comments, if you're watching here and you've been watching all postseason long, I hope you'll accept my apology and that you'll share this. Let's get more people in the room. Let's celebrate. I cannot wait for Game 5.
It is 11:19 p.m. Central Time. And I'm telling you what, I just want to say one thing before we get to all the players, right? Wrigley Field is such a special place. We can have an entire episode on how amazing it is and what it means to both of us and to the entire fan base. They didn't get off their feet for any moment tonight, it felt like. They were electric. So that needs to be given, because to be down 2-0 in the series and to be as electric as they were in Game 3 and as electric as they were in Game 4, that it's real. Home field advantage, not advantage, but home field. Like that advantage from the aspect of momentum and getting in the pitchers' heads like they did with Quinn Priester, right? You saw what they did at Peralta. And it's also funny. You saw what they effing did when Ian Happ hit that 3-run homer. Man, let's get into it. So we'll talk about Ian Happ because he was.
Can I tell you a really funny story really quick? So
60 people with us right now, and it's 11:20 p.m. Incredible.
So we have to have a streaming service. So I have the Cubs game on my laptop on the dining table. I'm watching this way. And then my wife is on the big screen watching the end of the Dodgers game this way. It's the 11th inning of the Dodgers game. And I'm over here looking at the Cubs game. And she goes, wow, just so many people in the stands. This would be so fun to be at. And I was like, yeah, Dodgers. She's like, no, they just did a cutaway to the Cubs game. Like, that was amazing to see. A Dodgers fan, okay, who has been there, done that, is like, wow, look at the Cubs field. I don't know if you saw the story I shared on Instagram earlier today. John Boy, their studio, did like a which team would you rather be at for an elimination game? Which team has the home field advantage? And it was Cubs versus Dodgers, and all 5 said Cubs. So Wrigley Field, you got to give it up to them. I've got my wife so excited about it that we're talking about if it is Cubs Dodgers, we're going to go to every single game, no matter if it goes 4 games or 7 games.
Stop. Just I understand. I love your family. I love everything
I
about
said
you
if.
guys.
I didn't say when.
Okay, you said if. Okay. Just making sure. But hey, there ain't no and if buts about it. We're going to Wrigley North on Saturday, 5:08 p.m. Central Time. We'll talk about previewing that game here in a little bit because there's going to be some interesting things to watch heading into that game on Saturday. So let's start off with this. You apologize to him. That's why I love you. You're always going to own up to your things that you say. I wish I was more like you. I will give myself a little bit of credit and say I'm shocked that you guys wouldn't look at Matthew Boyd. I did not sit there and say I would feel confident in him, but I did say this. He's a competitor at the end of the day. And what he did in game 1 was incredibly embarrassing. And I promise you this, nobody felt worse than him.
Yep.
And the way that he felt up until this game. 4 2/3, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 3 walks, okay? 6 Ks. Matthew Boyd tonight showed some emotion. And you guys all saw the emotion that he showed prior to the series against San Diego and what it means to him to pitch at Wrigley Field. Regarding his family with his grandfather, the always watching Cub games growing up. I get emotional talking about this. I'm surprised I'm not talking like I'm not just bawling my eyes out right now because this is why I love baseball and this is why I love sports, right? A man who had to sit there for multiple days and figure out what he was going to do and figure out how in the world I'm going to get out Christian Yelich and Jackson Churio and William Contreras and Bryce Terang, Caleb Durbin and all these guys, right? That guy showed up at the biggest moment. He showed up at a moment we needed him. I thought J-Mo was that guy. Yeah. Matthew Boyd, if we win this series, my friend, wow. You talk about just altering your identity, what you are to Cub fans. Yeah, incredible, Kyle. I'm trying not to get emotional because it really was something so special.
We talk about these games of where like players become Cubs, right? Like this is that kind of game. I mean, Matthew Boyd proved himself many times during the season, but there's that emotional game that will be in your mind for years and years. For me, like Eric Karros, even though he played 1 year for the Cubs, that home run he hit against the Yankees, that's when he became a Cub. You just have all those kinds of like games in your mind. And this one, to me, I will never forget this Matthew Boyd performance, especially because not just because it was his revenge game, his redemption game, not just because he went 4 2/3 of scoreless ball, but because even though when he was out there, I was ready for all hands on deck tonight. I was ready for it to be Matthew Boyd for 2 or 3 innings, probably gets into some trouble in the 3rd inning. And then you bring in Soroka, you bring in Ben Brown, like you bring in Savali, whoever you bring in. And it was just going to be like, how do we get 27 outs? And Matthew Boyd made that puzzle very freaking simple for Craig Counsell tonight. And yeah, I mean, he should be extremely emotional. He should be showing those emotions, especially what he said going into the series. And proud to call him a Cub.
I'm so proud that we get to call him a Cub, and he was so clutch. And you know, the announcer tonight mentioned, right, that if I read this correctly here, this was Boyd's first full major league season in 6 years, right? We all see what he is on camera. You could tell that he's just a genuinely good dude, right? And when you're that great of a competitor, that the ability to not be out on the field absolutely kills you. These players are human. Kyle, you've had the opportunity to interview a lot of these players. You see the human aspect of these players on camera and in person when you met them at spring training or at games or at dinners. These guys care. And Matthew Boyd tonight showed he cared. And I just want to talk about the fact that Matthew Boyd tonight, so through his appearance, only had 3 at-bats that were 6+ pitches or more.
It's great.
This Cubs offense tonight
is
the storyline. It's Matthew Boyd 1A, and it's the offense 1B. Tonight against Freddie Peralta. So Freddie Peralta went 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, 6 Ks, 1 home run. Oh, that 1 home run was given up to Ian Happ. I just wanted to remind all the Brewers fans that are probably not listening to any other shows because they only understand their small ball approach. But so just looking at this, 6+ pitch at bats by the Cubs tonight. They had 8 of them against Freddie Peralta. Nico with 6, Seiya with 7, Dansby with 6, Bush with 6, Nico with 6, Seiya with 7, Happ with 6, and PCA with 7 again, right? There is something about seeing a pitcher, it doesn't matter how good they are or how bad they are, multiple times in a season and multiple times in a career. They've seen Freddie Peralta this much. That was the best approach by the Cubbies in a very, very long time, Mr. Stanley.
Yeah, and I love
that in elementary school one time. I remember that. You got yelled at, but go ahead. Sorry, not to.
Well, I loved the approach. I mean, I looked over at my wife and I was like, oh my gosh, it's by the end of the 3rd inning, we had him at 69 pitches.
Bingo.
23 pitches for each of the first
really
innings.
Quick, Kyle, 28, 24, 17, and 15 pitches by the innings.
And I mean, just goes to show you, he gets any good starter gets better as they go. And Pat Murphy said it when he went over to the sideline reporter there, 2nd or 3rd inning, that the moment got to Freddie. And, Alex had a really good question.
That's so sad.
It's so sad. But Alex had a good question to us the other day, like, hey, is home field advantage now a thing again? And I think when you talk about Wrigley Field, yes, I wish we could play game 5 at Wrigley. If we did, I'd go put a bet down right now. Like it is really cool to see the effect that the fans had on one of the best pitchers in the game, one of the best guys who won't win the Cy Young because of Paul Skeens. But yeah. I mean, we just a hell of an effort from every single at bat.
It's so satisfying to see this, because this word that's brought up so much in baseball these days is momentum, right? And why momentum isn't a thing to some people, and I won't mention who, because at the end of the day, you're all entitled to your own opinion. But Kyle, you and I played the game of baseball. Baseball is baseball, right? Whether you are in the major leagues or you're in T-ball, it's about scoring the most runs and feeling as if in a dugout, when you walk up to the plate, or when you walk back to the dugout, that you got 9 guys in that lineup right now that could easily put damage up on the scoreboard, right? So here's an interesting thing I thought was pretty funny. Series thus far before tonight's game. Total runs before tonight. Cubs had 10, the Brewers had 19. Total hits. Cubs had 18, the Brewers had 31. Total home runs, the Cubs were up 5-4. After tonight, total runs. Cubs have 16, the Brewers have 19. The Cubs have 28 hits, the Brewers have 34. The Cubs have 8 home runs, the Brewers have 4, right?
Yeah.
You look at both of those and you go, whoa. Games 1 and 2 don't matter a damn shit, okay? It's about momentum. It's about how you continually do this, right? We'll talk about games. We'll talk about game 5 and what that looks like. But I'm just telling you all, like, this matters, man. It really does. It really, I get passionate about this type of stuff because I played the game, and I know I didn't play Division I baseball or professional baseball or anything like that, but I have buddies that have, and they all agree momentum's a thing, man. it meant a lot tonight. And my wife even said it best. She goes, is that annoying that they didn't score anything tonight by the Brewers? Yeah. Guess what? Guess what? That means that they've lost momentum. That means that they got absolutely diced up by Matthew Boyd in this bullpen. That means that they decided after 2 games that they were going to call it. They were going to be like, yeah, we'll find a way to win another game. Pat Murphy's talked about it. We'll find a way to win a game. The Cubs came out these last 2 games and put it on them. I'm just, oh man, I'm so fired up for this team right now, Kyle. I'm fired up, brother. Yeah. I want to talk about some significant moments.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah.
I think just looking at Ian Happ, of course, with his 3-run home run. One question that was asked in the chat here.
Yeah, I just put it up there for you. I think it is.
Fantastic question, Noah.
I think it is.
Fantastic question. Talk to me. What else has he done?
For our audio people, Noah's asking, is that the biggest swing of Ian Happ's Cub career? And I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you just talk about setting a tone in this first inning for the Cubs.
It's weird. It's weird how they just keep doing that, man.
And
did I see Jesse Rogers?
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say this is the first time in this series that they did something after the first inning where you're like, okay, now they're putting them away.
I think I saw Jesse Rogers tweet out that it was the first time that a team has hit a home run in the first inning in 4 games in a series in playoff history.
Wow.
Please tell me if I have that quote wrong. But I saw it as I was.
We're going to need that help from the comments because I'm not able to look on X right now because I might tweet out something that's pretty aggressive towards Sam Deckard. So I'm just not going to do that.
So what moment do you want to talk about?
I think what just, oh man, it made me laugh and I tweeted it, right? So I'm kind of going to go backwards and forwards a little bit, but I want to talk about the bottom of the 6th, right? The Brewers got brewered. Carson Kelly, ground ball to Caleb Durbin over at third base, makes an error. Bunt by PCA, which we all texted each other with and said, thank the Lord that he didn't break his fingers or his face or any other part of his body, and credit to him. That was an unbelievable team at bat. Team at bats are why they're called team at bats. They help you win games. Why? Dansby Swanson with an unreal walk. Underrated how good that at bat was. And then Matty Shaw. 2 strikes.
That was great.
Curveball in the dirt. RBI single. Puts you up 4. That was like, I was watching it and I was like, I can't believe my eyes right now.
Yeah.
It's small ball.
Yeah.
The Cubs just played small ball.
It was phenomenal. And can I, first of all, that was just a huge sigh of relief to see a run scored.
Great point.
Outside of the first inning. I think just from not from like we need to score more to not make our leverage guys throw, just from like a stress standpoint. Like Keller could go in there tonight. I still didn't like the idea. You could see the velocities down. It's 94, 96. It's usually 97 to 99.
We're going to talk about that later on, by the way. I have some questions for you.
Okay, cool. I mean, so I didn't like seeing him in there tonight, but at least it was low stress pitches. Walked leadoff guy. Oh, well, get it 3-1 on, I think it was Churio. Oh, well, you got a 5-run lead, right? It's not 2-0. It's not 3-1. It's just simple. I want to go back 1 inning, Ty. I could not believe my eyes when I saw the Brewers laying down a bunt to put the not tying run at second, but the go down by only 1 run at second and flipping over to the top of the lineup. I mean,
interesting.
That was.
You're talking about Joey Ortiz's bunt, by the way, right? Which, by the way, interesting thing on that. What was key there? Do you know what was key in that play?
I'm not recalling. Go ahead.
No. I know you're a father of 2 now, so things you're not going to recall as fast as they used to be. But Matthew Boyd showed a pickoff to second base there, and Joey Ortiz showed bunts.
Yes.
I tell you what, everyone, these little things, that was shocking to me that they, as the Brewers, how talented they've been this year at the little things.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that we learned when we were in middle school ball, that if a pitcher is going to show, you don't show bunt until that arm is going towards the dish. Just a little thing, but go ahead, Kyle. Go ahead. Sorry.
But again, like that's what was even more shocking about it to me. It's not Joey Ortiz showing bunt to try to surprise the Cubs or to try to get a drag bunt for a hit. It was just, hey, here you go. We're just trying to score 1 or 2 runs right now because we think if we can get close to you, then we'll win in the later innings. I think that is I mean, that's just like being up 14 in the fourth quarter and playing your defense back to try to prevent the big play. Like, it's just such a weak approach. And it's probably why, I'm just going to say this, it's probably that kind of mindset is probably why the Brewers don't put teams away in the playoffs.
Wow.
Which, by the way, I'd love to see any Brewers fan in the comments right now that was calling Cubs fans crybabies or our team is better than you. We just play better baseball, yada, yada, yada. Guess what? We're going to game 5. So it's anyone's ball game now.
Speaking of the word 5, I do want to talk about the 5th inning really quick. I will say, I know this doesn't probably stay on just the trend of like the momentum that the Cubs played tonight. I thought that was a really interesting inning. You know, you talk about Nico battles on 2 strikes for a single to right field off McGill to make it 1st and 2nd with 1 out. Double steal on a curveball with Tucker up to the bat, which, by the way, it was a gutsy pitch from Ashby on the 3-2 pitch. By the way, for him to get Seiya. That was
at the moment that was huge.
That was unbelievable. I'm not going to lie. We just bashed Brewer fans. I will say to Brewer fans that was like, oh no. That was like, oh no. Hap almost put one out after that, but it was like, oh no. But what was interesting too, Kyle, and this goes back to your so just so I can finish my point there, double steal on the curveball by Nico. And I believe it was Shaw. I believe it was Shaw. That double steal was tremendous because that set things up. Again, just putting pressure on them, right?
Yeah.
But I want to talk about, too, the top of the 5th because it's 2nd and 3rd, right? Joey Ortiz just bunted. And, folks, if you look at Kyle's video that was so well done talking about the Brewers potentially stealing signs, and I just want to make a very big claim that almost should go across their screen here. It is legal to do whatever you want to do to steal signs, but it's not legal if you're doing things like the Astros did. Okay, let's separate them. That's not even a conversation. Okay, but what was really interesting though was the way that Carson Kelly was setting up in that top of the 5th, and I talk about the little things a lot, right? But the top of the 5th, Carson Kelly was setting up middle after each of the calls with a runner on second base, which was Blake Perkins. And if you notice, Blake Perkins is peeking and peeking and peeking. He's looking at 2 things. He's looking at can he see what the pitch is being thrown by, I believe it would have been Matthew Boyd because Christian Yelich was up. And then the second was Danny P., who, funny enough, is a part of your video, with Jackson Churio up as well.
Yep.
I just thought it was so interesting how Carson Kelly set up middle every single time and would move. And this is something that I learned when I was in middle school, but it's not something that you just think about, right? Because of this storyline and the way that the Brewers try to win games is they try to find any edge. And I respect them for that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really, really key. And I just, these little adjustments that are made in the playoffs, guys, I tell you what, it's so fascinating to me. I nerd out about it because when I coached for 5 or 6 years in youth travel baseball of all things, right? It was 18U down to 9U. It was the most fun I've ever had. But there were teams that you would play that was like, wow, these teams are really tough to beat because they would just find these little things to get a little bit of an edge. I thought that was so key and not talked about at all, of course, by their broadcast. But of course, it's just these little things that just like the Cubs are doing the last 2 games to win this series, to try to win this series.
Yes. Well, it's obvious that Carson did that because he watched my video, not because he watched Marquise.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very, very valid point. You sent it in to him, actually.
Yeah,
gmail.com.
exactly. No, I mean, I was really stoked that you picked up on that because, as you mentioned, I'm watching the game. My wife's having a photo shoot of our 4-month-old in Cubs gear. There's a lot of things going on in my household. The fact that you were able to concentrate and see that was really cool. I would like
I don't have kids.
yeah,
I don't have
I would
kids.
like to go back and watch that again, honestly, because I did not pick up on any of that. What I did pick up on, and I think that a lot of Cubs fans probably were loud on this on Twitter, was in that same inning, they take out Matthew Boyd with 2 outs. He's only at 67 pitches. He's throwing a gem. 10 times out of 10, I'm doing that. I do not want Matthew Boyd with a 3-run lead facing Jackson Churio for a third time in this era of baseball where we know so much about the third time through the lineup in a game, in an elimination game. Regular season, let him face him. Elimination game, you got a fresh bullpen, semi-fresh bullpen with an off day tomorrow. That was huge. Daniel Palencia got his redemption against Jackson Churio. First pitch gets the pop out. Loved it.
That was some serious heat. That was some serious heat and movement there, man.
Loved every minute of that decision.
Last couple things before we talk about Game 5.
Yes.
Kyle Tucker, first home run since September 2nd. Lefty on lefty.
It was out for a while too, but
that ball was deposited.
Yeah. I got to tell you, man, like I have not liked Kyle Tucker's swing in this playoffs. It just feels like he's bailing out a lot. It feels like he's stepping in the bucket a lot. I hope that clicked. I hope that clicked something.
2 walks tonight that were big too.
Yeah, well, he walked even when he was struggling this year, so that it's still a good sign. But
big walks, though, in essence of keep the line moving, as they do say in Wisconsin, keep her moving, right? The Cubs now are 9-8 on the season series against the Milwaukee Brewers. They can officially beat the Brewers this weekend, or they can tie them. Either way, I'm incredibly proud of this group. They have done things that the last 2 games that I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy that we get a Game 5. I get to sweat through my shirt on Saturday, have a couple brews, relax, not really. But Kyle,
Game 5.
Who are you starting Game 5?
I'm starting Colin Ray.
So let's say this. Okay, let's mention this before we get into opinions, right? Because I don't disagree. So who is available for Saturday? Okay. As we mentioned off the top, Colin Ray, who did pitch on Monday, he did pitch 60 pitches, but it's 4 days rest. He's going to line up for Saturday. Of course, a name that we need to discuss and figure out what in the world they're going to do with him is Shota Imanaga. He threw on Monday, 4 days rest, lines up for Saturday as well. Another name to watch out for, or a couple, Aaron Savali, Michael Soroka, and Ben Brown were the 3 names that threw after Matthew Boyd in Game 1. Mm-hmm. They are ultimately available as well. The one name to watch out for from tonight that did pitch was Brad Keller. He did throw 34 pitches between Games 3 and Game 4. Interesting point there. I wonder if that he threw not because he was going to be a high leverage arm ready for Saturday. I think that they thought, you know what? This is probably the most we're going to get out of him in this series. This is the best situation for him. Maybe just a little bit of a, I'm just trying to think of the mind of Craig Counsell. But Kyle, you mentioned, you think that they're going to start Colin Ray on Saturday. The Brewers, who knows what they're going to do at this point to try to neutralize Matthew Boyd, or sorry, not Matthew Boyd. Oh, Matthew Bush. I mean, Michael Bush.
Carl Ravage moment there.
Exactly. Let's discuss this. So you're going Colin Ray.
Yeah, I don't think they're starting Colin Ray. I'm going Colin Ray. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Shota. I wouldn't be surprised if it is an opener. I would probably lean towards an opener with either a Colin Ray or a Shota follow-up is what I would assume from Craig and company. But I'm going Colin Ray because, I mean, he just – how does he not deserve it at this point? He has, outside of Jamison Tyone and Cade Horton, who's not available, who else pitched better in September that is on your roster and has not been given enough of an opportunity yet. He pitched 3 1/3 on what was that? It was game 2.
Yes.
I can't
Yes,
remember
on
what day
Monday.
of the week. Was
60
that
pitches. That was
Monday?
Monday. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I think it was scoreless, right? Scoreless 3 1/3.
I would have to look that up. Keep talking
Yeah.
while I look that up.
I'm pretty sure it was. And for that reason, I mean, he kept them in the game in that one, and he has pitched tremendously throughout this September all the way into October. It's his former team. It's a great story. And Shota just has proven that he can't be relied on at this point. And here's the truth of the matter. Even if the Cubs make it past the Brewers on Saturday, it's going to be extremely difficult still to continue to move forward in this playoff battle with Shota looking the way that he has looked so far.
And here's the beauty of it too, right? I think Shota out of the pen wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I think he's going to be geared up. He's going to be ready to go. I think he could absolutely give you an inning. Absolutely.
I think depending on how the Brewers line up, right? You go here's what would be great to see.
By the way, Colin Ray did go 3 1/3, no earned runs. But go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Think with me for a second here, maybe like a Pomeranz or maybe like a Kittredge to open, and see how they make their lineup. See what that looks like.
Shout out Jeff for saying Kittredge to start game 5.
There you go. There you go, Jeff. If it's Kittredge goes 1, 2, 3 in the first, and they've got lefty, righty, lefty, and maybe another lefty later down in the lineup. Because they got Bowers, they got Frelick, they got what's his face, Terang, Yelich, right? Like they've got a number of lefties. If you see that, maybe Shota lines up great for inning 2 and 3. You get him in there. He looked fine in that first inning the other day outside of the Vaughn home run. He looked like he was going to be on a good trend. I would love to see him for 1 or 2 innings if it's the right matchups. If it's not, if it's righty heavy, because they're assuming, the second guy is going to be a lefty, then you bring in Colin Ray and you just say, hey, ride it out until you show that you can't go any further. 60 pitches, 70 pitches, and then we just go with the bullpen. I think you can kind of you have like you said, Ty, you have 2 pitchers that are on full rest. So let's just see what happens with the Brewers lineup. And Craig loves the matchups. Make a matchup decision, Craig.
So that was something that I was interested to bring up too, because I was thinking in my head of okay, why don't you just go ahead with a guy that you feel like would just match up really against any of the top 4 or 5 Milwaukee hitters and make sure you announce that he's going to be the starter. I just would love some gamesmanship here and don't announce who you're starting until the last minute. Whatever that last minute is, I have no idea what it is, folks. So this is just sort of a dream situation for us. But just wait until the lineup's announced and then make your decision. But I don't know if that's a rule or something like that. I agree with everything you're saying, Kyle. It's hard to figure at this point that Shota Imanaga starting this game is going to put the Cubs in the best position. And if you listen to Craig after the post game, he talked about Shota's got an issue right now. He's got an issue that he needs to address. And Craig Counsell is a very smart human being. While we may all disagree on decisions he makes, at the end of the day, that's what fans do. I will say this. If he actually starts Shota Imanaga game 1, Kyle,
game 1?
No, sorry. If he actually starts him Saturday, my brain's all over the place. If he actually starts him, I think that's a fireable offense. It's not going to be. It's going to be.
I would absolutely agree. It's just also I wouldn't put it past. You and I both know that Craig isn't the only one making the decision. I wouldn't put it past the Cubs brass to still do that.
Do you think that it's and I hate to bring this up because people are going to be pissed off in the comments. Poor Mark is just asking for Cade Horton. Cade Horton is just not available, Mark.
Yeah.
You have been tremendous to us all year, by the way, my friend, but he's just not available. So let's remove that situation there. But is there a part of you, Kyle, that you look at the Matthew Boyd situation, because you said it yesterday, you're like, there's no shot in hell that they're starting him, right? You saw what he did. Okay. Is there a part of you that goes,
Thanks for
these
reminding me.
Cubs, just a little shot, but the Cubs do feel the emotional aspect of it, of like, Shota can't do this twice in a row to the Milwaukee Brewers? Or is it just that there's just such a proven track record at this point that who cares?
You're essentially just asking if the emotional side of Shota would be the reason that they put him out there. Is that what you're saying?
Not the emotional that. Yes. So that would be the decision why the Cubs would do it, because they're like, Shota will not let this happen again.
I think that would be a non-analytical decision, which I think there's better times to make non-analytical decisions, like during the regular season, when you saw plenty of times the Cubs bat a righty against a lefty when obviously you should have gone with the hot hand and all that kind of stuff. So no, I don't think that I think they're smart enough to not think with their heart on this one.
So if we're going with what we believe in as a podcast here, as the Setup Man podcast, that almost had 100 people here viewing with us at 11:52 p.m. Central Time, or Wrigley time, as Alex Brout would say, which Alex is currently snoozing away. Colin Ray is your starter, or Kittredge is your starter. Let's start with that. Who are you going with? You have to make the decision.
I just think you just run Colin Ray out there. I just think you go for it. Yeah.
Perfect. Colin Ray, you going one time through the lineup?
Twice.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, until he proves that he's in who just said it? I think this is the approach. Eric says, keep everyone on a short leash. Don't be afraid to pull guys when they get in trouble. Colin Ray goes, first 2 innings, 6 up, 6 down. Great. And then gets 2 on with 2 outs in the third. I wouldn't be surprised to see him pulled.
Okay. So you're thinking is that, can you get to 4 with Ray? That would be a dream scenario, right? Dream scenario.
I mean, that would be, I didn't think Matt Boyd was going to go more than 3 innings tonight, and he went 4 2/3. So I'm going to say it would be a dream scenario, but also you just have to look at this as, I think Sam said it really well on Locked On. I was listening today. Sam and Matt, I think it was actually Matt. He said, how many batters, not how many innings. And I think the answer to that is like, yeah, you cut it off at 18 with Colin Ray. I don't want to see him face the top of the lineup a third time.
Okay. All right. After that is where I can't ask you, because it's all matchup based at that point. Who knows where they're going to go to? But as we mentioned, there are quite a few names available for the Cubs. The beauty of tonight is that you won 6-0. Caleb Thielbar went out there with very, very low stress pitches. Brad Keller is the only one in question at this point. Really interested to see what they do. Let's talk about the Brewers, though, because the Brewers are in a situation right now where they have pretty much everyone available. They do, except Freddie Peralta. Every single pitcher is available out of their pen.
I mean, if Mizorowski is not their bulk guy on Saturday, I would be shocked.
You talk about a pretty situation for him when it comes to Mizorowski, is not having him be shown at all at Wrigley.
I'll tell you what, though, I am ready to bash that guy's teeth in after the way that he celebrated like it was Game 7 of the World Series against us. I hope the players are that way too. I know everyone in the chat here is that way. We already know that most Cubs fans realize that when it's a 7-3 game and you're cheering because your right fielder made a nice catch, that it's time for you to remember that, hey, you might be 23 years old, but you're also in the big leagues, bro. Like, let's have a little bit of some emotional checks. You know, PCA is an emotional guy, but you never see him like out there cheering against the other team. Mizorowski is that guy that you're just like, all right, dude, sit down. And I want to sit him down. I want the Cubs to sit him down. Let's go.
Let's go, dude. Let's go. Well, Kyle, it all comes down to Saturday, brother.
Well, we got to talk more about the Brewers pitching. I want to hear what you thought.
Okay. So Ashby has looked really, really good against the Cubs, right? And he neutralizes Bush right out the gates. Justin Turner got an at bat off him. Okay.
Has he pitched all 4 games?
Aaron Ashby. Let's actually look.
It's been at least 3.
This is actually super important for this conversation here. So
because reliever fatigue in terms not in terms of throwing too much, but the other team's seen the reliever that much. That's what I mean by reliever fatigue. That's a real thing in these short series. So I actually would like them to put Ashby back out there. He didn't look all that great tonight.
So Ashby has thrown in every single game except game 3. Okay. But tonight, let's see here. So he threw, let's see here. So Ashby threw 32 pitches. Okay. Pretty intense moments for him too. Okay.
Yep.
I don't see them opening up with him. I think that they're going to possibly open up with a guy like a Jared Koenig. I can see them opening up with the Jared Koenig because that 100-mile-per-hour heat, he's got some nasty stuff. I think they swap him for that opener. That's my guess. I'm going to throw it out there and think that that's my guess because after that, God knows what they're going to do.
I heard the broadcast tonight say like, "Oh, would they throw Priester back out there?" I think that would be a terrible.
That's a Pat Murphy emotional decision at that point because he talked about it after the game where he was like, the kid just let the moment got too big for him, but he said the moment got too big for him. And talk about a moment on Saturday. We got 100 people viewing this video right now. This is incredible. So I'm going to guess Jared Koenig. Who are you going with?
To actually start the game.
Remember the Michael Bush thing. The Michael Bush thing is everything.
Who did start game 2? I can't remember.
Aaron Ashby.
Okay, it was Ashby. Then yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think if Miz is going to be their long guy, I don't think they start him because the only success the Cubs had against him this year was in his first inning. So they start someone to neutralize to the first 3 or to the first 4, depending on if Tucker's batting 3rd or 4th as lefties. And then you go, I mean, if it's Ashby, probably not. I think it is more of a Koenig situation. You've seen them, though, go a couple innings with those openers. So I would think it would be a lefty opener, and I think it would be Miz probably second out of the pen.
To Mr. Carter Hawkins, which, by the way, you and I, brother, are very identical, and it kind of creeps me out a little bit. I would be very, very shocked if they started Quintana. I think I would be. And the reason why is that I just don't think he has done enough this year to earn that opportunity for them to start. But again, we wouldn't be shocked at this point by any of these names. I mean, even like Ashby, like this guy seems to throw 100 every damn time he comes out onto the mound, right? He looked unbelievable tonight, right? We talked about that 3-2 curveball to Seiya, which he threw that curveball right before that pitch and then 3-2 in the dirt.
Yeah.
I mean, so there is absolutely that possibility. And I think Rojo Q mentioned too, I think Quintana pitched yesterday. Look, he pitched in the series, but they're going to have to throw some electric stuff out of the gates. They're going to have to, Kyle.
Yep. Well, Taj Mahal Tall here says Quintana doesn't throw hard. Cubs have been struggling against the heat. And it's so true. It's so true. I mean, that's why you expect to see the kitchen sink of velocity from the Brewers on Saturday. And that's scary. There's a number of different reasons why I would be scared for Saturday. Is that Pat Murphy's going to throw the kitchen sink for velocity. We're going to be in Milwaukee where we lost 2. you're going to have a sketchy situation. Pretty much any starter for the Cubs has been a sketchy situation for this entire playoffs. So it's not like the Cubs have their nails coming out right at you that it's like, well, at least we got Cade Horton throwing. Oh, wait, no, he's not in. So there's a lot of reasons to be scared, but I'm going to tell you right now, there was a lot of reasons to be scared today. And here we go with a 6-0 win. This is why you play the game.
This is why you play the game. This is why I love this comment from William, is that there is the kitchen sink from every single angle of both organizations at this point. And I think we have to set the stage a little bit, Kyle, to talk about what this means for both organizations, right? The Cubs have been dominated by the Brewers since 2017. Since 2018, excuse me. Sorry. 2018, 2019, right? Whatever. For multiple years at this point. The Brewers have not gotten over the hump of being the best team in baseball.
Yeah.
There comes a point that cinema and storylines and all of this truly comes into play. The 105 people that are listening in right now, right? You all could agree. This is the biggest moment for both of these organizations since the Cubs in 2016 and the Brewers in their franchise history. You talk about just kitchen sink, every arm's available. I got 104. I'll throw 102 at you. I got Michael Busch. I got Kyle Tucker. Well, I got Christian Yelich. I got Jackson Chourio. I got William Contreras. Well, we got Nico Horner. Well, I have Bryce Terang. I have Caleb Durbin. I have Matt Shaw. I mean, there is just everything thrown at you. And I'm over the moon excited for Saturday. I'm over the moon, brother.
Everything you just said there is exactly why I was excited for this series and exactly why I was down after the first 2 games, was because I wanted this to go 4 or 5 games. Of course I want the Cubs to come out on top. That's not even a point that I have to make. But when you talk about a rivalry, you talk about the fans, you talk about the despise that we have for these teams, especially the Padres and especially the Brewers, because we've played them. And then you get to come out on top and you get to do it in a win or go home situation for both teams. Game 3 against the Padres, game 5 against the Brewers. This is fun baseball. You and I complained the other day when we won game 3 to make it 2-1, that this was the first time that we had seen the Cubs not get blanked in a best of 5 series in a long time in the playoffs, in which they didn't win the World Series. And to go to game 5, to do it against your rival, to do it in a way that could take a whole fan base that was just riding high not more than 48 hours ago and say, not only do we have a chance to go to your park and send you home, but send you home to the same tune that you guys go home to every single year. Now, if they don't, which by the way, if they don't, you still hold your head up high in this series because you say, damn it, we took this thing to 5 games and we made you guys look like fools in Wrigley, just like how you made us look like fools in Milwaukee.
I'm just going to say this. This will be my last comment of the show. We've gone almost 50 minutes at this point. We still have 95 people with us. Can I just say, I'm just going to say it. I'm rooting for Craig Counsell on Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Craig. I hope he gets what he wants. Deep down, that frustration of him pulling his hat off and, scrunching his hair and probably turning around seeing PCA throwing his bat down the damn tunnel, to all the games that they played against and getting booed in Milwaukee and all this different crap, where at the end of the day, dumbass Brewer fans didn't realize that his contract was up and it didn't really freaking matter. He wasn't going to the Mets. It didn't matter. Craig, it's your time, brother. The players play. They're going to work their asses off on Saturday. But you manage your ass off too, brother. And trust your gut. Believe in it. I promise you that a lot of Cub fans will be thinking the exact same things you are during the game, of this decision and that decision, and why this decision's the best decision. We all believe in you right now, man. We all believe in you. We're all rooting for you. There has been so much rooted hate from the Brewers discussing and talking about Craig Counsell and, well, he's a bum and this and that. Well, guess what? Maybe just needed to be part of a better organization. And we're going to see that on Saturday. And I can't freaking wait.
I don't know.
By the way,
I don't know how much sleep Craig is going to get Friday night.
That's fine. They're on a bus tomorrow. He can get wonderful sleep. Yeah. Those are great chairs on that bus. Great chairs. I promise you. Tom will make sure he's got great chairs.
This guy's sweating and talking about chairs. So, I mean, think about going to bed Friday night as Craig and thinking to yourself, in less than 24 hours, I'm either going to be riding high and giving the figurative middle finger to all the people who have been yelling at me ever since I left Milwaukee, or I'm going to get the figurative middle finger from everyone else as I take my cap off and put my head down on the way out.
But I will say this, brother, you did make a great point where you talked about it. Like, this team didn't, there was nothing from Cub fans that thought that this could go 5 games after being down 2-0.
No, I didn't think so.
He also has a lake house in Wisconsin that he'll probably be driving to right after the game, whether they win or lose. But go ahead.
No, I said what I needed to.
This has been a longer episode than we expected.
Should have been. Needed to be.
Let me ask you this, Kyle. Your unbiased opinion. Okay?
Good luck.
To the 93 people that are still listening, I've mentioned the number a little bit too much tonight. I apologize. That's what's important to us is that you guys are all sitting here probably laying in bed, probably just jacked up and just wanting to talk about Cubs and think about Cubs, and you're just probably going to work tomorrow at 5:30 in the morning, man. We appreciate you. I want to see in the comments. First off, make sure you like and subscribe, because we really appreciate it. And that's why we're up this late, is because we want to grow this channel. We believe in what we're doing. But I want to hear it in the comments. Please.
Coast.
Exactly. We're heavily cheating. I'm about to eat pizza here in about 5 minutes. But Kyle, your prediction for Saturday. Let's hear it in the comments as well. Guys, please let them rip. Kyle, what is your prediction for Saturday?
Oh my gosh.
No. As you're sitting there on Saturday, right before the game, I want you to think about it, right? You're probably 1.5 IPAs in, thinking about, hey, how's Craig going to manage the situation against Yelich here in the 6th inning? Contreras in the 7th. Against Joey Ortiz in the 8th. Give it to me, Kyle. What do you think?
Ten innings.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
5-3 Cubs, 10 innings.
So you think they score 2 in the top of the 10th?
I think it's going to be scoreless going into the 10th. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know how it happens, but I think 5-3. Hey, there you go. Christopher's thought the same thing. I think it's 5-3 in 10 innings.
I'm just going to flash all these scores really quick. 4 IPAs in for Brent, 9-3 Cubs. Cubs win 5-3 from Christopher. Bears 55, Brewers. I think the Bears win by 152-0.
That makes a baker's dozen.
Exactly, Bob. All right. There's a Polish sausage stuck in my esophagus. I think, as I post all these comments, I think the Cubs win. The Cubs win 7-6. I think the Cubs win 7-6 in 9 innings.
Nerve-wracking.
And that is going to put a lot of IPAs or people under the age of 18, because we support you too, or under the age of 21. Sorry, I thought it was back in 1975 in Wisconsin. Under the age of 21, it's going to be crazy.
If the Cubs win on Saturday, they are 10-8 against the Brewers.
10-8, or they tie the season series. So the Brewers.
So the Cubs will win 10-8. There you go.
Wow.
It's going to be symbolic. It's going to be symbolic.
Who do you think let's just keep going here. Who do you think, in your opinion, who do you think has the key hit from the offense on Saturday?
I have a good feeling about Kyle Tucker after that
I was just about to ask if we could do it on 1, 2, 3, and I apologize. I was going to say Nico.
Okay.
Because he had another 3-hit game tonight, and I thought that we would both say the same thing, but it's hard not to believe in what Kyle Tucker could be on Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of guys to be excited about in this offense right now, but if Kyle Tucker is back, look out.
Kyle, is there anything else you want to share with the audience here? Any wild facts you have?
No, I just want to
Last
bring it back
message
to
you
what
got.
I said at the beginning of the show, which is I am happy that I had to apologize to start off this show. So I hope I get to be apologetic for the same reason for multiple shows for the rest of the October postseason.
To everyone that tuned in, to the 100 people and probably more that have tuned in that will listen into the audio version of this when it's posted, we just want to thank you. This has been a wild ride the entire year. The 3-game series against San Diego was electric. Thank God it was at Wrigley. And then thank God the last 2 games are at Wrigley. You are a special place this season. We hope that you get some games against the Dodgers. But Saturday, if you are thinking about going to the game, if you're thinking about it, you're looking at the ticket prices going, I got this trip I got to make with my girlfriend or significant other or whatever it is. I got to pay for that. I got to make a vacation with my kids.
Just do it. Memory of a lifetime.
You wait till everyone falls asleep and you click that Apple Pay button and you get it done and you get your ass to Great American Ballpark on Saturday. Because
American family. Great American is Cincinnati.
Don't care. As we said from the top, Wrigley North is about to be electric. Game 5. I said at the beginning that it was at 5:08 Central Time. That is wrong. It is at 7:08 Central Time. And to everyone that tuned in for another edition of the Setup Man podcast, we hope it's not the last one on Saturday. Better not be. We want more. We want more. Sincerely, thank you. Thank you. Please like, comment, subscribe. I just need to ice up, which I'm going to do with a couple pieces of pizza that are just going to be unreal here as we just try to shut it down. Take tomorrow, relax a little bit, giddy up for Saturday at 7:08.
Giddy up.
Giddy up. We'll talk to you soon.